Hello, 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 and welcome to this final boss fight live stream of Minecraft, where the stream seems to be streaming today, which makes a change from last night's Twitch shenanigans. My name is John, and I am on a railway bridge,
You are, yes.
and I'm
on the
joined by
way.
Sean.
Who's en route on train? Whee! Button! Yeah! Oh, test loop was on. John!
Oh, did we not turn the test loop off?
Test loop! No! Oh, it's not got a lever either. Yeah, it has. There we go, there's the test loop. Now I'm stealing your train.
Oh, where's your train gone? Oh, there it is.
Where did you do your train? I mean, I'm now stealing this one, so you know. Let's see if this works now, shall we? Full speed ahead. Yeah! Another button. I'm off!
Bye, Sean.
Also, while I'm doing this on the intros, there's a
Hey, Dan.
Hello.
We've just started. Welcome, welcome.
And I'm just loading up.
Awesome.
So I went to wake my PC up and it went, hey, guess what? Blue screen.
Ooh, fun. So, John, are you following me on this?
I'm following you on this here train. Your original train.
Okay.
He's on a train.
Yep. So am I. I'm doing the loop. I'm in the station. And I'm on my way to the factory.
That's where John's going, apparently. It
Yep.
says factory on the train.
It's great. We've been making some.
Well, I think it says factory on the train. There's a lot of smoke coming off.
I can see the FA and the Y.
My left wrist feels empty now.
Been carrying a big bag.
No, my October wristband fell off not
No.
so long ago.
No.
I posted it to Instagram and it went to my Facebook as well.
I don't know about, like...
Get ready to stop the train.
Yeah, good point. I mean, I know that, you know, Chris and a lot of others definitely keep their wristbands on for ages. As soon as the MCM is over, I get that thing off. It doesn't last a week.
No, I leave it on because now my wrist just feels empty because I've always had some on my wrist for the past few years now, so it's like just now feels empty. I have my bracelet. I have my bracelet on my right wrist, but now my left wrist just feels so empty.
It depends how well they do it up.
These are the plastic ones, aren't they? What about that? Oh, what about the year we got the fabric one?
Oh yes, I had that one on for ages.
Oh, that would never come off. You'd have to cut that off. Or you'd have to be good at pulling it off.
It had a funny little clip in it, which had like backwards pointed spikes. So I ended up having to cut mine off because it just kept getting tighter and tighter and tighter over time. But yeah, I kept that damn thing for as
You
long
guys
as I
haven't
could.
seen The Dragon Prince, have you? Or have you?
I've seen about 4 episodes of the Dragon Prince.
They have a thing in it that's at the start that the elf assassins wear this wristband that is like magically tied to the life of the person they're meant to kill. And so if they don't kill the person they've been sent out to kill, it basically just tightens and tightens and tightens until it basically chops their arm off.
Interesting.
So yeah,
so
MCM's wristband.
Except scissors are the perfect weapon against
Yeah,
that.
these are magically enchanted so that you can't just scissor them off.
That's a shame. Would completely change your story if you could.
Little bit.
Yeah.
So John, what are we doing?
What's happening? Well, as you can see, we've made a few advancements with the trains,
Yeah.
which is nice.
There's more routing and stuff to be done with frames.
There is still some work to be done, but we've made a lot of advancements with it. We have also made some nice advancements with power. So inside the factory, I've gotten rid of the immersive engineer cabling and made way for some conduits, which I know we've done conduits before, but they're cool. They work.
Let's not reinvent.
Are you doing another drag car thing? Again?
Not yet, because we are nowhere near close enough to draconic stuff.
We also don't need that kind of
just yet.
Just
we'll get there. Eventually, we will have probably get some sort of a nuclear reactor this time, I'm sure.
Yeah, we could turn the sub-basement into power. You could walk over here and just see glass.
I mean, depending on the nuclear reactor we get to in the end, yes, or we'll do it somewhere very far away that we don't mind polluting with horrible nuclear radiation. Depending on if we use the type of nuclear reaction that is nice and plays well with other things being in the environment, or the one that horribly irradiates everything.
Yeah, we'll have to give that some thought. But
that's a couple of months of work at least. For now, we've got a nice. This is a new capacitor bank. So for anybody who's not seen Ender.io capacitor banks, they're a multi-block, which basically means this is a 4x4 or 1x2x2 capacitor bank, and you can literally stick them together any which way you want. And
nice.
each...
So you have to have those 4 blocks, but you can put them where you like?
Well, you build one of them, and you can have it as a 1.
Right.
Or you can stick 2 of them together, or you can stick 4 of them together, or you can just keep going and get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And the thing that's quite cool about them is that, each of them stores 8 million RF. Or there or thereabouts. So with all of these 4, we've got 20 million units of power. And also each one of them allows you to input and output more and more energy. But it's also configurable. So at the moment we can do a maximum output of 20,000 energy units per tick. But we could say if we wanted to input less than that, for whatever reason, you can throttle it that way, or you can throttle the output. You can also tell it to output or input only when it's receiving a redstone signal.
Oh, okay.
So you can do fun things with that. And as I say, if we make more capacitor banks, we get more storage space in this block. So we can sort of bring it out into the room further. We can build it up to the ceiling if we want. I can't remember the maximum size of capacitor bank, but it can get quite big.
It's going to be a decent size.
And then if that becomes not enough for us, I believe there is a vibrant capacitor bank. Yeah. So there is a vibrant capacitor bank that does 25 million RF in the space of 1 block. So sort of you then add that up. And sort of with the way that Ender.io does its upgrading, there are sort of typically 2 recipes for the upgrade. One of which is you're going straight to that level. In which case you've got to use a lot of raw materials. And one is you are going from a previous level and literally upgrading. So sort of for the vibrant capacitor bank, you can either go straight to using 4 octadic capacitors, electrical steel, and a vibrant crystal, which is a lot of resources.
Yeah.
Or you can use vibrant alloy 2 octadic capacitors of vibrant crystal and 2 capacitor banks. So it basically means you use less resources to upgrade a thing rather than building it from scratch.
Okay, yeah.
Which is cool.
That makes sense.
And I think it's basically the same with the conduits. You can sort of use a conduit in place of some of the materials to make the next level up conduit. With the machines that you can sort of upgrade, you can do the same sort of thing where you can either go straight into building a, upper level sag mill, or you can upgrade the lower level sag mills into an upper and upper and upper.
Yeah.
Whichever way you do it, it just kind of works. So
Nice. You have
yes, which is always nice. I like having options.
Yeah.
So one thing we've got to do is build a painting machine, because we've now got a lot of spaces. We've got a lot of spaces out there that don't have stuff in them. We've got a lot of holes in our factory, and I want to not have holes in our factory. Seems a sensible thing to want, really.
Yeah. I think that's true.
So
I've got the nether quartz and the diamond. I've got that.
I've got the simple machine chassis and some industrial dye, and I'm going to put them both in a alloy smelter.
Oh, I need some iron ingot. 8 iron ingot and 8 nuggets and 2 grains of
Just going to
8 of those.
stop making bread for a minute.
8 of those and grains. Yay! Grains of infinity. Yeah.
Dum 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 dum.
So I can make the gears. Infinity by
Yep.
metal.
And
Don't make me click it twice.
there's the required industrial machine chassis.
Yay! And then I need some electrical steel ingot.
Alright.
3 of those. Where did they even come from?
So they are alloy smelted. They take pulverized coal, silicon, and iron. So 3 iron.
Oh yeah, it's the one sneaky one on the end of the other.
Yeah, it's hidden away for reasons of I don't know why.
Oh, I've done things.
Oh, I don't know what things you've done.
Don't know. It's a mystery. Ferrously mechanical was an advance that I made, and I completed the culmination as a challenge. And it made fancy noises at me.
That's always fun.
Yeah.
I've got bread.
How did I get Enderia?
Oh, that comes with the culmination.
Oh, okay. That gives you damn good stats.
What, the Enderios?
I don't need them just yet, but they're good food.
Have you read the side effects?
No.
Part of a balanced breakfast, not actually healthy, contains 253 grams of sugar, 53 grams of fat, 349 grams of ender dust. Side effects of ender dust include nausea, dizziness, confusion, and random teleportation.
Where might I go?
That is the question.
Kind of want to find out.
It's...
I'm not sure is the most sensible idea, but...
You can make more Enderios with a bucket of milk, ender pearl powder, wheat, and a bowl.
I mean, there's one way to explore.
I think it just...
Can't decide what
I think
direction to go.
it has a random chance to teleport you a small distance.
Oh, I want... Can I eat like 70 bowls of it and just get rocketed like 300 miles away?
You can sure try.
I'll just rest something heavy on my keyboard as it like flies me back.
Okay, here's the electrical steel.
Yeah.
Where am
I was plugging it into the.
Where are we going to
table
put
downstairs.
this? I suppose...
Painting machine. That ironically says not.
It's not been painted.
No.
Let me grab a conduit.
Okay. Is it going between
yeah.
these two? Okay.
Conveniently, we've got just 2 conduits left.
Ooh,
So, if you just pop it there. And then we need to make a capacitor for it.
Okay. Oh yeah, capacitor. Is that what holds the power?
Yep.
So you can get it to hold more or less power, I guess. It's just
Yeah, so here's a capacitor. Doink.
Thanks. Quite handy being able to throw stuff off the floor. above.
It comes in useful.
Okay, I put it in. It's now charged.
Gonna get 16 of these, and I hope that that's a number.
I mean, 16 is definitely a number, John. Can
Cool.
confirm.
I hope it's a number close to the number of which I need.
We've got 79 out. Quite satisfying watching these numbers jump.
So that's the other thing I really like about the capacitor bank is you get the ability to have a space on it that tells you a lot of information about the storage on the capacitor. Like you get the funky bar that does fill up as the machine fills up. But you do just get like the screen that gives you exact details, like this is how much is the net gain at the moment. It's coming in, it's this much.
Yeah. So this is filled up, and it's just how much.
So yeah, this has filled up its internal
This is
buffer.
how much of it.
It's actively using a little bit of power, but that's how much power we're getting in at the moment.
Yeah. So essentially, if that number suddenly reads something really, really
We're
big,
using a lot of power
I'd
somewhere.
run around and figure out what's going on. Unless you just plug something new in which case it's probably you're doing in the first place.
Yeah, if you don't know why you're suddenly losing a lot of power, it's time to panic. So with the painting machine, you can paint conduit facades, which means that you can cover your conduits nicely like this. The other thing you can paint 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 more.
Okay, so you're
Halfway.
like just over half. Pretty
So I'm going to do another 16. Do I want 16? I think I want 16. I want 15. I want 15. Then I'll put one here.
Oh, yeah.
And one there, that's what I want, 16. 16 more.
16.
The other thing that you can do with them, with the painting machine, is you can paint... I only had enough for 12.
Oh, what more do you need?
I need... Oh, this. Conduit binder.
Okay. Can't help but feel like I should probably put my bed back in
Might be an idea.
and actually sleep in it. It got deleted for testing previously. There we go. And now I'm in
Yay.
bed. I do like the hearts above my bed. They're so cute. Oh. Hopping in and out of bed.
Oh.
Yeah, these beds just don't like people. I think they try and push you out the headboard. I think whoever put the mod together in the wrong way.
The other thing you can paint, and I don't remember if we've covered this before, is glowstone.
Oh, okay. That's cool. So it still glows like glowstone, but you can paint it whatever you like. Ooh. That could be quite cool for lighting the paths, couldn't it?
Yeah, it's an option.
Not to do the whole path, but like to put block every so often. To have a bit of light. Would be nice.
I mean, the other thing that I want to do today is possibly get this hooked up to a couple of power monitors. Because we said about doing a thing where we have combustion generators over here and hook them up to the petrol. And so if this drops below like 50%, it kicks on the combustion generators. If it drops below 25, it kicks on the diesel generator until we get a decent store of power back again.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And with the power monitor, rather than some of the other options, you can have it so that it turns itself, like, with a lot of the easy ways of doing it, you just have a switch that toggles on and off very quickly. Because you have like a, when this gets below this level, turn on, but as soon as it gets above that level that you've told it to turn on at, it turns itself off.
Yeah.
But with the power monitor, by default, it has a turn off at value.
So you can say turn on when you get to 1/4 left and turn off when you have 3/4
Yeah.
full. Okay, so you get that bigger gap then, as opposed to it just bouncing
Yeah.
on and off between a number. That makes sense.
So I guess the question is, What do we want to do first? I suppose it should be trying to get that power stuff sorted. I don't know if you want to work on trains.
Yeah, so I was... Well, we need more trains.
Yes.
To start putting what we're doing into action, we need, I guess, 2 trains at present. I did just spawn this one in.
For reasons
so I
of
feel like
intro.
it should be unspawned. Yeah, I feel like it maybe should be unspawned for that reason. But so we've been trying to process and how we can make sure that every station has a train that lives. So you can run between stations, but there'll always be a train waiting for you. And we figured out that you can guide trains by not only their ticket, but also by their colour.
Yes.
So we're thinking each station will have a colour of train. You can hop on that train, whack a ticket in it, it will read the ticket and send it wherever it's going. So you can just have your nice leisurely train journey. When you pull into that station and reached its destination, it will cancel that ticket out and become what is essentially a blank train colour. And then the system should be able to, if we code it correctly, should be able to guide the train back to where it belongs purely via colour.
Which I think is very cool.
I don't know whether you want to head over and see the bit of planning that we did or not, John. Quite happy not to until we've got it working. Like 100% working and in place. But it might be slightly easier to explain if people can see it. I don't know.
I'm just going to put some electrical steel on to cook, and then we'll go and have a look. Now my ankles. Okay, let's go have a look.
Should we hop in that one train? Or should we take 2?
No, we might as well take one train. It saves on the environmental costs.
I mean, both trains are running. I'll change the ticket in this one. GMT. Yeah. Had to check that my brain was braining right then. And go! We're also figuring out a system to where hopefully you can press a button and it will give the train the ticket that corresponds to the button. Given that we can colour code the buttons, we're thinking like you press green, you'll go to the green station. Be the bundling mug. It's taking a bit of processing and some more coding than my brain is entirely convinced it wants to be doing. But we're getting there.
It's a work in progress.
I feel like this smoke just comes out way too loud.
Yeah. I mean, there are electric trains, but that's a lot of investment, and I don't know if we can do it right now.
I do love that this kicks you out. So these detector tracks give a redstone signal when a thing goes past them. So that actually powers the next bit.
Nice.
So what we will have, once this is set up properly, it will remove from the train.
So this isn't set up yet to kick the ticket out?
No.
Right.
Because we've not changed the colours yet.
Makes sense.
Trains. if we head... Gotta remember, I can't just jump down the stairs and go...
I mean, you can just jump off, but it hurts.
My health would not appreciate it.
So this is the train track. This is the train set.
Yeah. So basically, trains have two colours. This is the green train with a black base. That is a green train with a grey base.
Yep. Agreed.
And at the moment, let's actually set these running. They go and do their loop, minding their own business. They've got no ticket. All fine and dandy. They won't pull into each other's stations. And this is kind of representing the bumbling monk.
Okay.
Each side of the platform and the three tracks. It kind of sits in the same dogleg as well. So if I get a ticket for AC, which is the factory, and I give it to this train, he is now.
So that's over here.
Yeah, and I hit this. He will go. I think you should just sped that train up.
I'll try and catch it on the way past.
He will go to the factory. And then at present returns home. Because it doesn't have the ticket removed from it at the factory. But as it comes back into this station, imagine that it's come from else coming to the Bumbling Monk. It will pull through like it normally does. I'm over here, cancel its ticket out, and become to get back.
Are you seeing what's happening with this minecart? It's
yeah. Run it through a few times, see if that helps. No.
It's having some real fun.
It's twerking away. So yeah, it means that given how you put the different routing tables in, it flicks the track for us, and we should be able to bring it home. The only difficulty being, we have to figure out all of the ins and outs of all the different routes so you can get trains.
Yeah, I mean, one of the big issues that we've got at the moment is making sure that trains don't go down the same bit of track at a time when they'll crash into each other or collide with each other.
Yeah, I mean, we've got it set up so it's all one direction.
Which should help.
They shouldn't be able to go against the grain.
The biggest issue I can see with that is a fast-moving train catching up with a slow-moving one. I don't remember if anything bad happens when that occurs.
They kind of just
bump off of each other,
press against each other, and like go the slow train speed. I think.
Well, it shouldn't be too much of an issue.
So it's not like terrible.
So shall we look at the quick thing I routed up to try and work on the...
Yeah, so if I... I'm going to knock this out quickly. Because this is the one that makes the difference. That has no book now. So it should ignore where we're going. It should go past. It will, yeah. So
this is an advanced item loader that Sean tested and found can put a ticket in a train. So with that in mind, we wanted a way to make the tickets and put one ticket into here based on where you want to go to. Yep. And so we've got this... The buttons are currently on dirt suspended in the air, but that's a work in progress.
It's a testing ground.
So when you press the green button, it sends a redstone signal down to the green extractor that extracts a ticket to the Bumbling Monk and places it in the advanced item loader. Like so, and then when a train passes by, it will pick up that ticket. Now what this is doing, it's got an ender chest down there which is keyed into this ender chest, which keeps one of each type of ticket in it. And then we've got servos down here that pull out specific tickets when given redstone signals. As some people I know will probably say, this is a bit of a dire wire system, and it's the cabling is a little bit atrocious. And I've also come down here with nothing to nerd pole my way out, which was good thinking on my behalf.
Keep jumping.
Thank you. So the issue that we've got at the moment is that sometimes the buttons don't provide the pulse for long enough for the ticket machine to get a ticket. That is issue 1 that we need to resolve. I mean, I think that's only the only real issue the system has at the moment. So this,
But it does have a ticket now. It did receive.
I pressed the button twice. So these crafters are set to craft specific tickets. They can craft with a piece of paper and a golden ticket, a one-use ticket for a location. And then there is a limited item filter on the ender chest that keeps one of them in stock. So as soon as one of them goes out of here, another one gets pulled out of the crafter, as long as there is one in the crafter. And then basically we just need to feed these sugarcane or paper to be able to craft paper to keep them stocked up.
Which is totally doable.
And then we just kind of need one crafter per location, which again is totally doable.
Yeah, and because we're using ender chests, it can then have an ender chest at each station to do the tickets from. And so now this has got a ticket in it. If we send good old train round, which I've sped up for help, it should take. Oh, it's not got.
Yeah, it's not got a detector track.
Stop going around, you big jerk. Detect track. Does it need a detect track?
I thought it was. Is it a detector track or is it a holding track?
No, maybe it was a holding track. Let's try this one. And then it needs on complete. There we go.
So that's now got an FAC ticket in it. It's going to go down to the FAC, and then it should go home.
Yeah.
And it would stop if we...
Stop, but... And then this holds this here, and then if you press FAC again, it takes the pipe, doesn't it? Because this pipe really slow, so there should be empty. And off it goes. Where this one goes, I'm not sure.
Where this one goes, nobody knows.
Well, that is the problem, isn't it?
Round, around, around.
Train,
Really?
really? There we go. I'll untap you, it's fine.
So that's...
It's a wild Tanny.
Hey, Tanny.
Is?
Got ice cream.
No, ice cream's best.
I have strawberry donuts.
Oh, strawberry donuts. Why don't I have snacks?
Oh, for
I should have snacks. I can't make out a word he just said.
I said bollocks.
Yeah, I haven't quite learnt the dialect that is donut yet.
I bit the wrong side of my donut and guess
You're now covered in jam.
Fabulous.
That excuses my bollocks.
Yeah.
Shall we head back to the factory, Sean? Or do you want to head? Do you want to stay here and work on train?
I may faff about the trains. I'm not sure. No, why not?
I found the how John said that. Do you want to stay here on train?
On train.
On train.
On train.
On train.
Just so satisfying. Just being able to like.
Where are you? I'm on train.
Just faff about while you're on a train. Like you've not got to concentrate running anywhere. You're fairly safe.
I don't have a train.
We're working on it.
That reminds us, we need to ask you what colour you want your train to be.
Purple!
Can be arranged.
Yay! I get purple. Well, due to the fact that I'm wearing obsidian armor because I don't have a thingy yet. I have my seared brick. I just need to make my thing.
Okay, I'll add you as purple to our list.
Yay!
So
Am
far.
I here in a wreck here? Yes, you are, Tanny. You are here in a wreck here.
There we go. Okay. So far we've got the factory is blue, station white, got a white room.
No, do I need to put more coal into my steam engine?
Spawn is going to be grey because we don't want bright yellow trains waiting at it, and we kind of
What's
figured
wrong with the yellow train?
it just wouldn't look fun, you know. Bumbling Monkey's green building.
I'm doing good, Tanny. I'm doing good.
Rekia's base is going to be purple, and once we've sorted out if and where Michael is, we shall be turning his train orange for fox-based reasons.
That fox still needs to die.
No, it doesn't.
It does. We.
That fox has siblings, so
Well,
there's a whole army of
we
foxes.
we tried to kill it in October. We're gonna do it in May.
Nah.
Why?
So what's happening over here then, John?
Well, I set some I set some electrical steel to cook before we left, and it hasn't.
Why is Tanny feeling unwell? What is wrong with said Tanny?
I'm going to guess ate ice
What
cream
is
too
wrong with our
quickly.
dragon? What is wrong with our dragon?
That is a
That
problem I would like to have. I
Has
don't
our
feel well
dragon
'cause
lost
I've
the
had too
ability
much rain.
to breathe fire? Is that
Oh no.
a problem? Blood dragon
Oh,
cursed
no.
me. Yeah. That's never a good thing.
Um,
I think I might just have a stream of running around and being a pain in the ass.
Okay.
John. I've already spent a big chunk of the stream bouncing on a bed, so I mean,
do I want another one of these? Kind of want another one of these.
and now I'm running figure eights downstairs.
Wait, does this use up
So,
the Yeta
yeah.
wrench? Damn.
Does it?
Apparently it does.
That's rude.
So Tanny's in all kinds of moods today.
Damn.
Yeah. But
Power monitor. And I need...
I need to. I have cows. I need pigs and sheep.
that. Oh boy. Doing, 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 doing.
Ah, bollocks. Don't you hate when you place glass in the wrong place?
Yes.
yeah.
At least you get glass shards, but then
Hey, what do you actually do with that?
I don't know. I want to.
I believe you can use them to like make back some glass.
Okay.
Just get.
Yeah, 4 glass shards make 1 glass block.
Yeah, that's all you can do.
You can also give them the Curse of Vanishing, but why you would want to, I don't know. Or Shimmer.
Why not?
Have you seen the Shimmer enchantment, Sean?
No, I haven't.
The Shimmer enchantment is added by Ender.io, and it just makes the item shimmer as if it was enchanted. It doesn't actually enchant it.
Okay.
Like,
it just looks
the tooltip is literally makes the item shimmer as if it was enchanted. That's all. Really. Nothing more. Yes, it is useless. I know. And then there's also a lot of items that can have the Curse of Vanishing, which basically means it disappears from your inventory if you die with it.
Yeah, that really does sound like a curse. I will give it that.
And coal. Doink. Doink, doink, doink.
So, you know how you're kind of not supposed to eat a ridiculous amount of sweets in one go?
I've heard rumour of such things, yes.
And you know how you can get those packs from like garden centres and stuff of sweets?
Yes.
They're quite a decent size. I've nearly finished off an entire bag of fruit pasta.
In how long?
Since I was given them at about 4:30.
Okay, so it's a few hours at least.
Well, I have had tea in the middle of that.
Not making it better, no.
But sweets.
Can't decide whether I'm slightly impressed with myself or feel bad. You know?
You can't have those kind of feelings when you're eating
Now,
sweets.
can this connect over here?
Alright, I'm closing the test track by making it a closed loop.
Yes, apparently I can. So then I need some redstone conduit.
I'm in the mood for trains, so we're having a train sesh. I'm gonna figure out these damn trains once and for all. Apart from the signalling. I can go climb on Titanic, sink in some sort of hellish icy waters.
I'm gonna go on a drilling expedition. I need my stuff.
We'll have to upgrade these machines at some point. Not yet.
No,
Some point.
I can't spell golden. Bit of a problem while you're trying to get golden kit, isn't it? Okay, so you can't make a ticket a blank ticket once you've typed something into golden ticket.
Okay.
You can't make it blank again, it then counts as somewhere. It's really odd. I was assuming if you just blanked out what was in it, it would work.
I guess because it's a single-use
No.
ticket.
No, because golden tickets.
Oh, yeah, golden tickets.
I need a.
I need a Yeta wrench.
I need to fly back up there. Have you got different coloured dyes up there, John?
Some. What do you need?
We got blue, and have we got green?
Blue, yes. Green, not so much. Doink.
Oh, interesting. So if you put a golden ticket in the tray,
Yeah.
the panels in the floor won't change the ticket,
Right.
which is really cool. I was half wondering, I half thought that it might.
I thought it would change it, but it wouldn't maybe blank it out. But I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
So this should be nice and working now. So if we drop below 75% in the capacitor bank, this should kick on until we're at 99%. Which will be fine for the moment for testing, but we might change those values later.
Yeah, I'm kind of seeing it at a quarter and at 3/4.
Yeah, for this one.
For the
Diesel gen.
Yeah. Because if we're only taking a little bit of power out and the thing can keep up with it, then we don't need to.
Yeah. Don't need to go to emergency power.
Yeah. So I need to. Can you just hit trains out with pickaxes?
Yeah. So I'm going to work on...
That loaded real interesting. So die. Die. We've got black. We need blue. Did you say you had
Thought
blue?
we had blue. We're out of copper.
Oh no, I can turn lapis into.
Yeah, lapis is blue dye. It's night time. Can somebody nap?
I'm in
Sean, can you nap?
Yeah.
Thank you, Sharon.
a different colour and all of our trains are going to be based black.
Okay. Oh wait, I know where I've seen a lot of copper. It's in the tunnel.
So I need green dye. What can I get green dye from?
You can mix colours, don't forget.
Oh yeah, okay.
I think you can change the petals into dyes there.
Yeah, you can.
You need a floral pestle and mortar, I think it is.
No, most of them you should just be able to put into your...
No, I mean like the mystical.
Alright, yeah, you missed colours, yeah.
Should have bought some stuff down here from the cobble gen to fill these holes back in again.
Yeah. Green dirt. That. Train. Okay. I swear these trains are drunk.
How so?
They're just like you place them in and they look like they're facing one way and then you hit start and they turn around.
Like, no, thank you very much. I'm going this way.
Yeah, I know what I'm doing. Thanks, and yeah, just turn around, which is a bit of a pain, but you know, whatevs.
Tanny got a triple chocolate.
Oh, nice.
Can you share it, Tanner? I think the group wants some.
The thing I had the other day that made me think of you, Dan, we had Yorkshire puddings.
Yeah, Yorkshire pud.
Which we have not had in years. You know when you walk around the supermarket and you're like,
Well, you did have a Yorkshire pudding, don't forget.
yeah, I'd had Yorkshire puddings.
No, you had one from the truck.
Yeah, I've had Yorkshire puddings recently. I've not had toad in the hole recently.
Ah, good old toad in the hole.
Yeah, I was walking around the supermarket and I spotted it and said to Mum, "Oh, we should have that." And we did, and it was the best.
Did you question why, or?
No, not really. Because she agreed we hadn't had it in ages. But...
Tanny says they can try to share.
Can try to share. Well, ice cream doesn't do a dragon any good.
Ice cream doesn't do disk drives in computers any good either, so maybe don't try and put it in there.
Mm.
Throwing it out there before anybody gets upset.
Why does my computer not work? You tried to put ice cream.
You tried to put ice cream in it again.
Why did I get? How did I get hurt then? I'll use a dimension.
Oh, good plan.
I didn't know you're a magical dragon.
I think, unfortunately, that only has a range of 500 feet, so...
Has she become magical Trevor?
Just realised that this isn't plugged back into the network yet, so...
That might be...
Just kind of have to wait for it to do its thing. Sean.
I'm gonna need both of the trains down at the Bumbling Monk.
Okay.
I'm about to hop in one and go. Can you send the other one after me? They're both set up to go to BFT.
Yeah.
And should be ready to go. Oh, button.
What the hell's going on
I
there?
need to click the button twice. If it's on us.
Okay then.
What speed?
I can put it at 4. What speed are you doing? 3.
3, please. Yeah.
It's on its way.
Cool.
No
Thank you.
problem.
I just figure if I go, if I'm close enough to it, then I should keep it within my loaded chunk. Or within my loaded radius.
Makes sense.
Oh, it's going to speed it up to 4 anyway when it gets out of
But it'll speed you up to 4 as well.
Yeah. But I suddenly sped up and was like, oh yeah, that's... Train
That's
travel.
the thing.
Ooh, Bioshock. Tanny started playing
The
Bioshock.
first one.
It's a good question. Yeah, which of the Bioshock?
It's interesting. It's very interesting.
The actual...
Never managed to get into Bioshock 1.
Son of a bitch. The hell is... Why can I not get past? Why
That
can't I...
language.
For
This
some
is not
reason...
really friendly to you.
Oh, what? Why am I stuck? For what purpose reason am I actually stuck here? Why
Where
can
are
I...
you stuck?
Getting stuck against invisible walls here in the cave and what the hell?
Are you using a flux borer?
Yes.
Is it incredibly fast or mining a lot at the moment?
It's only I've been doing 3x3, but it's only the first time. It's the first time I've come across
It might be that if you are digging sort of quickly with it, they sometimes desync the block from the... Like the server and the client side blocks desync. So if that happens, just try and like right click around you with a block. Because it might be that there's the server still sees the block that you've removed, but your side has already taken that block away.
Okay.
It's a weird bug. PlayStation has the whole collection of all 3 games for free if you have your PlayStation Plus.
Yep.
Ooh, nice. I think I got them ridiculously cheap on Steam or something.
As I say, I never managed to get into Bioshock 1 because my brother borrowed it. Like, he went to uni and started uni, and he took my copy of Bioshock with him.
What a joke.
And you never saw it.
Basically.
Basically, what happened with me when one of my mates in uni. I bought both Pokemon Black 2 and White 2 when they both released.
Yeah.
I played Black and he played... No, he took my Black and I had my White. And he went home for Christmas and he decided to sell his 3DS over the Christmas.
With your game in it.
With my game at the same point. When he comes back, I asked him, like, "Oh, have you got my Pokemon Black?" And he's like, "Oh shit."
Oops.
I sold it. Like, oh great, there goes a game.
Did he get you another one? Or did he give you the money for it?
Nope.
I'd have made him give me the money for it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, I'm gonna go
when I left uni, I'd lent a DVD to one of my housemates. And about a year and a half, 2 years later, we met up again and basically both agreed by this point it was more his than mine. Because it was kind of like, I didn't really want the disc back again. I'd already watched it. And like, he had had it for so long that, like, yeah, you know what, it's yours now. You deal with it.
Yeah.
So it just kind of became his by dint of keeping it for so long. I think by that point he had also bought, like, it was Series 1 of the 4400. And I think by that point he'd also bought himself copies of Series 2 and 3. So sort of taking, like, and I hadn't been interested enough in it to keep going with the collection, so, like, taking it back because it was my copy of the 4400 Series 1 just kind of broke up his collection of the discs for a series that I wasn't that bothered about. So
yeah, it makes sense.
Started my Dragon Age obsession in uni. I had to get my friend to buy it for me because I didn't have any ID, says Tanny.
Yeah, because Dragon Age Origins is actually rated.
Oh, that sucks so
It's
bad.
actually a rated.
Do you?
Saying that, we had
you-
a whale of a time trying to buy a teaspoon.
It's rated. You want to know why it's rated?
Because
it's got blood effect and it's got sexual.
I was going to assume the sexual references.
It's got sexual, nude, and blood.
Did your
And it does.
Did your teaspoon have sexual nudity and blood reference in it, Sean?
No, it's counted as cutlery, which also has knives, so they have to just blanket. Even if you're buying like a butter knife, even if you're buying a teaspoon or a fork, they have to ID you for it because it's under kitchen utensils and cutlery.
And and you have to be 18 to get.
Yeah, you have to be 18.
You have to
so
be 18.
yeah, so it's challenge 25.
Yeah.
Do you want to know the only thing I've ever been ID'd for? And didn't have ID to prove that I was about 24, 25 at the time. It was... Oh no, I can't remember if it was actually like I was over the age and just didn't have any ID to prove it, or if I wasn't the right age and obviously didn't have any ID to prove it because I wasn't the right age. But the only thing I've ever been challenged for and wasn't able to buy for not having ID to prove that I could was a PC Gamer magazine that had a demo of Carmageddon on the front cover. So because it had a demo of Carmageddon on the front cover, the whole magazine was rated an 18.
Was 18.
Tanny says, I was about to get into college, but yeah, still the same thing. Plus, it was for my PC that couldn't even run my Alice Madness on it.
Oh, that's annoying.
One thing that was funny for me and my mate, we decided to go for a drink in the local pub, and there was a bouncer on the door. This was middle afternoon, but there was a bouncer on the door, and we walked in, fine. He didn't ask us for ID or anything. Walked in, went to bar, got our drinks. We walked past the bouncer to have our drinks outside. Finished our drinks, we took our drinks back in Belmont Bar, and then as we walked out, the bouncer then asked us for our ride.
What? Oh, God, love you.
We were just like, what? We were both just there, kind of like, he's just watched us walk in without saying anything, watched us come out with pints, and then walk back in to drop our glasses off, then to ask us for ID as we walk out. What kind of bouncer are you, mate? You're the worst going.
Yeah, I've got to wonder. Really have.
Yeah, jeez. What kind of special does it take? Well, I've been ID'd, not as of recently, but within the last few months for Monster.
Monster? What?
I was in Morrison's.
Madness.
They ID'd me for Monster. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? It happened in Sainsbury's as well. I'm like, what the hell? They ID'd me for Monster now. I'm clearly over 16. Do I not look 16?
But what are you trying to tell me?
What was I doing now? I was building a pulverizer. And then I want a...
This blue thing should just do its circles. Yep. Blue train is just training on through. And if I give it...
I mean, the only other time that I've ever close to been ID'd was one time... You know they brought out the 12A age rating so that you can take people who are under 12 to see the film if you're an adult.
Yeah.
Growing up, my brother and I had a friend who was vertically challenged.
Yeah, I know those people.
Sounds like nothing.
I'm not actually.
I know.
He was...
I've got a 5'0" friend though.
5 foot friend. Jeez.
Yeah. I'm not sure whether she actually made 5 foot, to be fair.
Well,
He was quite short. And so he did look a lot younger than he actually was. So one time we went to the cinema, and I can't remember what 12A film we were seeing, but they challenged him on being under 12. And I pointed out that I was going in as well, and I think I was 16 or 17 at the time. And so the person who I was buying my ticket from said, well, you can't go in with him unless you're 18. Like, if you're not 18, you're not old enough to be supervising him going to see this.
Technically you are, but by cinema, no.
So they said, like, when is your birthday? Because if you're old enough, you'll know when your birthday is. So I said 1984, which is inaccurate for my actual age, but would have been old enough to be 18 at the time. And the person who was serving, like, the next cashier over leant across and said, "It's fine, I went to school with him, I know that he's old enough." I kind of just accepted it and left and was like, who the hell was that? I don't recognise them. I don't think I went to school with them. And I'm not technically old enough still. But not going to go with that point.
We're just going to gloss over that. So the opposite happened to my friend who tried to use her sister's ID.
Always a great start.
And the guy who was serving in the co-op worked with her sister. And went, I know this isn't you. I'll take that and I'll give it back to her in school in a couple of days. She was not happy because they looked so alike. Like, you wouldn't question it.
Unless you
But
specifically
because
knew.
he knew. Yeah.
I'll take that and give it back to your sister when I see her.
I'm sure she'd love to have that back. And she's just scowling.
But when that happens, though, you got to feel like, oh, what an absolute muppet.
Yeah. But, you know,
Just fact
serves
of
her right.
kind of run into someone who actually knows your brother or sister and just, like, absolutely cracks you off. I'm like, oh, great.
Yeah. The funniest thing about it was her parents at that time were really strict.
Christ.
Like, really very strict. So they were probably pretty angry at sister as well for letting her have it. Since that point...
Well, that's if she knew she had it.
Yeah, I don't know whether that was a I'm not sure. But yeah, after that, it kind of once she was old enough to drink, it was like, well, you're an adult now, do what you like. So
I don't really how it goes, but hey.
no, it's not exactly how it goes. If that's what your parents view, then not gonna
Right,
question it.
Flint can go up somewhere.
He was asked to apply for drinks, so you know, terrible. So we were clearly. Okay, that worked. So if it's bumbling monk, comes off, gets blanked out, kicks you out, and leaves. If the train is the correct colour, pulls it into the that's good. It's this one here. If the train is... Oh, coding. Why do I do this to myself?
Now you see why coders hate coding.
Now I see why it's a damn good job. I didn't think it would be the right kind of career for me.
Again, now you see why coders coders. It's not the easiest thing ever to do.
That's why we get paid a lot of money to do it.
Yep.
I think that book works. Maybe. Let's.
Yeah, that's working now. Cool. So what's the silicon recipe again?
See. Oh, train. See if this works, shall we?
Sag mill.
All aboard. Just that.
Oh, do I have obsidian? No.
There's some other code that needs to happen.
Wait, do I want to take a bucket? I probably want to take a bucket of water for this.
I'm probably butchering the crap out of this. It's going to be so funny if it works.
That's always a good thing to hear.
Well, but actually butchering something.
Yep.
And that I'm genuinely considering the fact that if it works, it will be like some sort of miracle. I don't know what I'm doing. Doesn't matter. Oh, sweet Jesus. Does this work? It's not said it's wrong.
I mean, that's the start of a lot of good coding, really.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Does it work? Does it work? Does it?
Does
John.
it work?
It totally works. Yay!
Excellent.
So what have you managed to do then? Is it?
Well, just run headlong into a train was one of the things I've just done.
I mean, that's a bold move.
Let's see. Yeah, so I've got or destination factory, destination station, and color equals green/any. Not or destination factory, destination station.
Destination station.
Does that make any sense to you, John?
Some of it.
If I do that, what should that do?
So that should either find trains with destination factory or station,
Yeah.
or colour green where the destination is not factory or station.
Yeah.
In theory. That is what my read of that code says it should do.
Yeah. We'll see. Once I've changed that. Happens. Hop in here.
Meanwhile, I have got the fun task of digging up obsidian.
You really should sort that out as a
Well, I mean, one way to have sorted this out is to get a flux bore with the ability to mine obsidian. And then I could do 3x3 of it.
Do you want me to come? Do you want me to collect you some? I can just go use my flux bar.
I mean, by this point, I'm nearly there with enough for now. But if you happen to find obsidian in the future, then I also found diamonds. Yay!
What? Why? How much will you be needing, or is it just going to be?
I mean, just generally every so often we need obsidian.
I was gonna say the only obsidian I got was to make my obsidian armor that I'm wearing.
Oh, I'm drowning. Remember that you need to breathe.
Yeah, so I think that one worked. I really need to, like, I don't know, stick a lamp or something above the ones that I've sorted out that I know work.
Some sort of marker to say that this is done.
Yes, this one is a success. Leave it alone. So what happens if SP on train SP? At the moment, you go around there and come back. Quite right. Okay. Oh, John, it just gets more.
You having difficulties now?
Well, no, there's just a whole new level that needs to be added to this.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah. Can I do destination equals black?
I believe it's destination equals null. Null.
I'm gonna think work and we'll
Could be wrong because I don't have my book down here with me in the mine where I'm now presently lost.
doesn't sound great.
I'm sure I came up somewhere. I mean, I know I came down from somewhere, so I must be able to get back out again. No.
Bloody downfall, honestly. I swear this server rains.
Oh, here we go.
Time.
No, it does seem to rain quite
It's just a
frequently.
Minecraft thing. Part of me is convinced maybe it's a Minecraft thing in general. It seemed to on the other one as well, didn't it?
Maybe. Found my way out.
Cool.
Nearly got a stack of clay as well. I've got over a stack of clay as well.
Cool.
I have clay. Must have to go out. Yeah.
Is there a way to make clay?
Make clay. What do you mean by make clay? Because you just mine clay, then you use bar clay to make a block and use them put a block in a furnace.
So that's all the terracottas. Bees? Bees can make clay. That seems to be about it, other than digging it up.
I'm going to assume I'm writing this in the most convoluted way known to man. But I'm under the impression that if I can make it work, then someone who actually knows what they're doing can come along and make it work grammatically.
I mean, that is like half the battle of coding. Once you can make it work, then somebody else can work on it to make it better looking if they need to.
Yeah.
That's how it tends to go.
Now I'm just gaining more and more bloody books. Right. You, book. What's the happening? Enter. No.
I mean, I know that one of the things I'm doing at work has a lot of the steps in this tutorial I'm following are like, now go back and make sure you can read the code.
Who needs to?
Because I'm doing a coding language that is very readable.
Wait.
Laravel
Is very readable or should be?
can be very human readable if you set it up right. It is designed in such a way that you could read a line of it as a sentence. Or it's set like it is possible to set it up in such a way that you can like read out a line of it in a sentence to be able to say like, this is the thing that does this. So therefore, like,
Yeah.
I think one of the examples that they were doing today was like, if the was getting a sign-in sheet so that users can sign into your web application.
Mm-hmm.
And then being able to say, okay, well, if the user is signed in, we want to get all of the posts that they are able to access.
Right.
And so it was a case of, rather than just being able to say, okay, well, I want to get all of the posts that are on this website regardless of who wrote them, you're then changing it to say, find who the person who is logged in and looking at the page is, and then find all of their posts.
Oh, okay.
And so he wrote that code out in sort of the old standard PHP way of doing it, and then said like, well, that's good, and that does the thing we want it to do, because Laravel is built on PHP, so you can code that way, but we can do better.
Yeah.
Which is cool. And I like being able to do better. What was I doing? I want a filter, which means I need some sugarcane. Has Chris got sugarcane up at the Bumbling Monk?
I think we did. We must have done at some point because there's sand next to the water. Let's go look in the. Where's all the chests of good stuff?
I think it's all in the Puda now.
Oh yeah. Where's the access to the Puda?
Ground floor of the Bumbling Monk,
Yeah.
just inside the door.
Yeah, 37.
Sweet.
Saw your train. You have to ride Binky over.
Already on it.
And there's just a train going round in circles.
Don't go running off, Binky.
If you want to take the factory train, you can.
No, I've got Binky here now, so I'll make sure he gets home safe.
Can you have carts that move animals?
I know that minecarts can scoop up, like, mobs.
Yeah.
So I assume it could move a friendly mob, as well as, like, suddenly a creeper trapped in your minecart.
Yeah, my brain's run out of capacity for this.
Yeah.
One. Yeah, I can understand what I need it to do. I just can't do the wording to make that happen.
Fair. Sean,
Sure.
could you possibly grab me some glowstone and pop it over, please? Because I should have picked.
Oh, yeah,
I should have picked up some while I was over there, and I didn't.
Glowstone. How much you need?
1 minute.
Because there's 6 glowstone dust in here, or 9 glowstone.
Actually, I don't need any at the moment. Never mind.
But do you want any?
No, I'll go and pick. I'll try and remember to go and pick some up from the Nether.
Okay.
Before the next session.
I feel like I might have to get into if statements, John.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that might be the solution to some of this.
I can always help with if statements. Not that complex.
It's just wrapping head around the order that you have to put it in and being able to read it enough to not have forgotten what I'm supposed to have typed.
Essentially, it's kind of like, if something is here, or something is there, or whatever, do this. If not, do this.
Yeah. Yeah, I get the how to word it in English.
That's
It's
what
like
you gotta do.
actually writing it in the proper format and capitals and
So if this is this, do this. If not, do this.
yeah.
It's setting it up and setting 2 functions. If number is greater than this number, do this. If it's not, do this.
It's gonna be piling on, so I need
balls. They're going through Netherrack and suddenly lava.
I mean, yeah, that's how mining works. And then lava.
But we could take it if you're thinking about if statements, then don't ask about if while statements.
Yeah, I mean,
If doing this, well, this is this. Oh well, this is this. Do this.
I feel like I need to give it a go, but I feel like I don't know. It needs more brain capacity than the amount of sugar in my brain currently can handle.
Yeah, that's a fair statement for a lot of these.
And like I said, depending on the code that John uses, he'll use a variation of if code.
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
That's
I'm pretty sure.
version. Which version of if is it, or is it?
oh, it's actually if, like,
It is.
a lot of if statements, a lot of if else.
Is that in?
I'm
Is
sure
that,
I could
yeah.
finish John without any issue whatsoever.
Yeah, if else, or if whilst.
It would be nice to be able to do it myself, but there's just gaps in the.
Again, you have two people who work in the job.
Yeah.
You have two people who work in the job. That's Chris and John.
Yeah.
Then all I have to do then is wrap my brain around when I did it back in college and uni. So.
I mean, the thing is, it's you know, there is a certain amount of.
I kind of want to try and write it in the most terrible way possible, just to see how much you can like make Chris's eyes twitch.
That is always fun.
He'll just. Well, it depends. He'll just look at it and burn and right. All right, we're gonna start from scratch.
Nah, I don't think he'd do that.
Oh,
he might if you did it, or if John did it.
If you saw what one of my friends did because back in college back in college for one of our assignments we had to program a train going forwards, and one of my friends literally just used switch statements. I'm like, oh my god, how the hell?
I mean,
he just switch. I'm like,
it's an option that you can use occasionally, but it doesn't work for everything.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, I know that, for instance, we do have switch statements on the front page of the website. Because we literally that the whole front page of the website is switch statement of the top one says, well, this is a block of videos, so go get the video block of code. And then the next one down is, well, I'm a block of posts, so I'm going to go get this block of code. So it's basically a switch statement of which type of content am I, what type of layout should I have.
Let's have a look. View source page. Let's have a gander.
So I don't know how much of that actually makes it into the source code that you can actually read there, and how much of it is all behind the scenes stuff that's obscured away in other pages.
Yeah. By look of it, most of it is there's your script for JavaScript, there's all your link references, there's your metadatas. Post videos, all your titles, script, HTML, scripts. Yeah, that switch part be behind then, because it's all within the scripts and everything. Because there's your J queries. Holy crap, I hate J queries. Oh, Jesus Christ. Nightmares.
It's gonna hold down for weeks. Just a thought of it.
It's the fact of that entire J query is just one thing, and it has multiple things laid into it as you read it. So it's got your jQuery, then it's got this is this, then it goes on for a for loop, another for loop. There's an if statement within a for loop, two for loops within an if statement.
Yeah, that's how this.
I feel feel like that's the kind of level this train set's gonna need by the time we finished with.
Yeah. But you can kind of just see, just by looking at web page sources, how bad it's going to be. Oh, excuse me.
I mean, thankfully, I don't have to ask it to go and find certain things.
Yeah, you don't have to go and tell it, okay, connect to the database.
Decisions on what I give it.
Luckily, yeah, we don't have to do that sort of thing.
Because I might try if that was the case.
Alright, how difficult is it going to be to build 2 redstone furnaces? Shouldn't be very difficult at all, yay.
Why did I draw this so damn near to the edge? Oops.
Except I don't yet have the glass because I'm building the thing that's going to make me the glass. I don't know what's happening on Twitter. Ah, Sean liked the thing that said we're going live, and I liked the thing that said we're going live.
Yay!
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Jeff.
Do you want to weigh in at all on jQueries, Jeff? Because
We're having discussions.
I just had the meltdown just looking at the website of FBS, and I'm just like, my brain just melt down with jQueries again. jQuery is everywhere. No, yeah, actually, it's as well.
there is no escaping the $0.
Nope, there is not.
I need to...
Because it's JavaScript. It's part Java. Java uses dollars. Use different functions, but depending on what you're going for, it works the exact same.
How much paper do I have?
Because Sean's trying to write if statements in Minecraft.
Someone shoot me.
So 3 more would be 6. I need 8, so I need... yeah, okay. jQuery is everywhere. There is no escaping the $0 was what he actually wrote.
There is no escape from it. It's a bit like when I was doing C++, C-ins and C-outs, I'm like, oh my god, there's no escaping these. C-ins, C-outs, like,
If
wow.
I remember the right $ bracket is a standard jQuery function to return a DOM element with a bunch of functions to play with it.
Correct.
Says Jeff. jQuery is the next on my list of things to learn. Which hopefully means I'll be able to fix the janky jQuery that I cobbled together to make the countdown to the stream events on Final Boss Fight.
I have a lot of netherrack. I tried to go mining for Draconic. I came across Ardite and Cobalt.
Cool.
And I
Really wish there was water there.
Hey, Dragon.
Yeah. I know I have a horse. I don't really know why I didn't bring the horse.
also add Angular and React level.
I mean, those are... React is definitely on the list. for after I do jQuery. I'm assuming that Angular will come up at some point. Can I take a train, Sean?
Whether you can get a train out of here or not is the other question. If I take this one's book away, you'd be better to take the blue one.
I'm just gonna head to my
I do need a ticket. Can I have a...
I hate the fact of mine when I come out the nether I come over to...
I built you a little minecart so you can at least do part of the journey, and I'm working on the train, so, you know.
I know.
I'm trying.
I don't
It
blame
is a
you.
weird one, though.
I'm just blaming the nether.
Bye, John.
It did.
Out, didn't it?
Catch that train. Fallen off the tracks, never mind.
I was supposed to be catch the pigeon, not catch the train.
Jeff says, I mean, I like Ember, but I'm in a minority.
There you go, it's on its way back to you, John.
I mean, I like it.
I just slammed it in reverse. That was the quickest thing I could get it to do.
Thank you, Sean.
What's called that?
Now I'll close the test loop again. So my trains can't escape.
I've heard of Ember, but I've not used it yet. I think I've mostly heard of Ember in the one guy that was talking about things that are gonna either take off or fade away.
Okay, then fine for increase.
Okay, that bit. I wish there was a way that you could mouse over the book that's in there and read it without having to take it out, open it.
That's useful. Jeff says it's very structured, so you can build things in it very quickly.
Oh, cool.
What?
Ember.
Oh, Ember.
So,
It's a fox,
yeah.
right?
So is that what you use yourself at work, Jeff?
Right. That one worked. This one, I'm gonna start putting a
I have done for a major project.
stick one. Have done for a major project. Ooh, fancy. Why don't you put that on there? Fine. No. Sure. Okay, and that one's done. I like the simple ones. If the destination is Bumbling Monk Tavern, go in here.
Yep. That sounds a good start.
I like those ones. I've also got if the train is not both the colour green black and destination null, send it on its way. So it will only park the train if there's no ticket in it.
Yep.
And I've got that for both sides. So I've got a green-black one and a green-grey one. Seriously, why did I start with the most difficult station? What is wrong with me? Why am
once you
I
get it out,
hell of a person?
because once you've done it, then you won't have to worry about it later.
Yeah, but why do I start on the difficult one? Why didn't I start on one of the more simple, like, end of lines, instead of the one that has trains that have to run through it and turn around in it?
Why not? Welcome to
Because
life.
as we learned in time management lessons last week, you have to eat your frog first thing in the morning.
Yeah. I need a better way to get RF. I'm slowly just running out of coal.
Jeff suggests that you've inherited Kandra's flaw, Sean. Always go for the more complicated solution over the easy one.
Yeah.
What's a better way of getting RF? Because I'm just using a steam dynamo in thermal expansion.
It depends what you've got a lot of. You could look into culinary generators.
What mods that?
I believe that's...
Chris is using wind power.
Culinary generators is extra utilities 2. And it basically uses food to craft or to make power for you.
Oh, I deleted the book that was in there. Pants.
Unless I can find a way to produce... What's a good way to produce steam? But it requires burning things, that's the problem.
I mean, you can make charcoal with a tree farm.
I just need to now do a tree farm. So that's using a abaton, which is frustrating.
So how's that looking on the old power? Okay.
So look at frustrating.
I mean, in good news, the diesel generator really works and kicks the power in, Sean.
When we say really works, how really?
4,000 RF.
Okay. And does it have to use a whole barrel, or does it literally just stop where it is?
The problem is, the thing I've got set up that should be telling it to not work doesn't seem to be doing that. And so at the moment, I've got a manual switch on it.
Right. Can we test that instead of testing that setup with the diesel engine? Can we test it with something
Yes.
less, like a furnace? So we can get it working.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
But I think that's the thing to do next time. So what I've done, Sean, just to quickly wrap this up, the Cobbleworks I've slightly upgraded, so we've now got... I'm going to actually build an augment for that. I think I can. auxiliary reception coil. So the Cobbleworks now has a pulverizer next to it that accepts cobblestone, which it pulverizes into gravel, which puts gravel into our network. Sometimes this pulverizer makes sand, which it throws into our network.
Yep.
Next to that pulverizer, we've got another pulverizer that accepts gravel, which pulverizes it into sand or flint. Occasionally we get flint out of this. So that's nice. We've now got a sag mill that also accepts the sand, which has a chance to turn it into silicone, which is useful. And then I've got 2 redstone furnaces hooked up now. One of which accepts the cobblestone and turns it into stone. And one of which accepts the sand and turns it into glass. Except the filter's not working because it's in my hand still. It would accept the sand if I had remembered to set it up properly in the first place.
So I've now got a train that I've now got a routing.
A train of Maduda.
Routing. We're not American.
Whichever of the words you want to use. Which now works, so it will turn the train around if the train is either destination SP or is green any and destination null.
Okay.
Because it means that one train won't have to go around the whole network if it's coming up from spawns, had its ticket taken away. It needs to be turned back around. So that works. I'm happy with that. Should do what it needs to. I'm gonna go with should, not does, just in case.
So you
I feel that's sensible. It should.
What can you do with liquid resin?
Liquid resin. I know what you can do with liquid resin, but outside of that,
Dan knows what to do with proper liquid resin.
That's all the help I can.
Well, apparently one option is to use a fractioning still, and that will turn it into rosin and tree oil. And then you can use the rosin in a steam dynamo.
Oh, I can use it in a steam. How come liquid resin doesn't give me that option on mine for some reason? I've got resin funnel buckets, cap and bottler, squeezer.
That's because you're looking at the recipes to make it. If you press U on it, you'll find out the uses for it.
Oh, there we go.
Jeff says you can use rosin on your violin bow.
Yes.
And Tanny says Bioshock is pretty intense.
Yes, I need to make a fracturing still from thermal.
And then you can also build a compression dynamo from thermal that you can pump the tree oil into that will get you other power source.
Okay.
So basically we've got cobblestone being generated, we've got sand being generated, we've got glass being generated, we've got stone being generated, we've got gravel, flint, and silicone.
Cool.
So I'm thinking that's a pretty good Cobbleworks going there. The theory being that those barrels, are they barrels? No, they're drawers. Drawers. These drawers will back stuff, and then the machines down here will back stuff. And then because they're only really making one resource each, it's not a problem that they back stuff because they won't sort of hold up other things. And then as soon as there's space for these bits and pieces elsewhere, they'll sort of start production again. So sort of once we use some of the silicon, it will filter out. The one thing I can do actually is we've got a lot of... We need sand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the back of the sand drawer and just say you can also extract it. And then that should start throwing it into the machines downstairs that don't currently have sand in them. So sort of the sand will be a last supply up here. It will more go to the making glass and making silicon. And then once they're backstuffed, we'll keep a supply of sand.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Not that should be a huge issue for a while. So yeah, I think that's pretty good Cobbleworks. I think next time the combustion engines would be a good shout, because then we can start using the petroleum and hopefully being able to turn this and or those off when we have enough power for the water wheels to work. Although possibly one thing I'm going to suggest doing it again between streams. We talked about doing it last time and then didn't. Is set up the other water wheel out here that we've made space for. So, because I think at the moment that will give us enough power gen to passively run sort of everything we've got going.
Yeah.
Because at the moment we're outputting about 80 RF on top of what we've got coming in from that one water wheel. So I think 2 of them will do nicely.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But stay tuned for next week for that. In the meantime, I'm going to switch on over to our credits screen and say thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't done so already, please do hit that follow button. It's a great way for you guys to know when we go live. Coming up this week, on Wednesday, the Golden Tooth are hopefully going to be continuing to explore the Library of Biblius. I've called the stream Exploring the Northern Room, but there is another door that they can go and have a look through. Freedom of choice does make naming streams difficult sometimes.
Exploring one of the
but
rooms.
exploring a place. On Thursday, I'm going to be doing my XCOM 2 War of the Chosen playthrough, continuing on with that. At the end of the last stream, the Chosen stole Michael Dorn out from our team, and so we need to go get him back. Because, we need to go rescue Worf. And the reason I'm doing it on Thursday instead of Friday is because this Friday, Jeff has moved the Princes of the Apocalypse episode that should have been two or so weeks ago, because a lot of the people in the Princes of the Apocalypse campaign were ill that weekend. And so, hopefully, I believe they're mostly recouped and recovered at this point, so we'll hopefully have a game Friday where they go and explore the Sacred Stone Monastery. And then the other thing is, in about less than 20 days now, we're going to be at MCM Birmingham in
Yeah.
Birmingham. So Sean, myself, MW Cosplays is going one of the days. We've got a couple of other people that are sort of FBF friends who are going to be there. So if you do see any of us, do come say hello. We did specify yesterday that you need to make sure you wash your hands and just generally wash yourselves a lot, because we don't want to get sick and you don't want to get sick either. So just be cleanly.
That'd be great.
Oh, they don't want the beer vibe.
Yeah, we don't want any of that. I mean, we don't want con plague in general. So if you can just.
Yeah, this isn't a new thing specifically for the said virus.
It's just convenient that advice also covers just be clean. Anyway, we hope to see you guys there. If you aren't, we'll probably have some video or some still photos of stuff that we do there.
Yeah, probably.
I'm going to be bringing hopefully Creed, hopefully Gunter, because I'm going to actually do both days of MCM this time, which will be fun. And I think Sean is bringing some cosplay. Probably bringing some cosplay.
Yeah, I'm going to be bringing cosplay. Yeah.
We'll see what that materializes as. But for now, guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again real soon. Bye.
Bye.